But
Mhm.
let's lean more into like, who are you? Let's be authentic. Let's not try to be someone we're not. Be you, because honestly, that's who people want to know.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited you are here with us today because I have brought Rachel Perry back to the podcast. How are you, my friend?
I'm so good and I'm so happy to be here. And we've already decided that we're besties.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%. And it's so fun
yeah.
because we did an episode together like ages ago. And
Ages.
then we've kind of reconnected this year in
Yeah,
our little personal development club, which I'm
yeah.
loving. Thanks to Megan Summerall. I
I
feel like we
know.
just have this like super cool, fun
It's so
powerhouse
good.
and get an excuse to talk once a month. And so I'm so excited for this episode and to share with
Me
everyone
too.
updates on you and what you're doing. So let's just dive in. Let's start
Let's do it.
there. For those that don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself and then tell us how you serve direct sellers, or
Okay.
maybe even those that are transitioning out of direct sales.
Yeah. So I'm Rachel. I've been in this industry for almost 20 years, which is crazy. I'm so
How is that
old.
possible?
I
You're
know,
not old
right? It's
enough.
so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, I've been in the industry for a really long time, and I've kind of gone through different phases. I mean, for a while, I was just a direct seller. I was just leaning into my direct sales business, and then started the tag team with my friend Amanda, where we taught direct sellers how to party on Facebook. Those were the days. Now I can't stand talking about Facebook parties, and I will not talk about Facebook parties because I'm done. I don't like them. And
Yeah.
now I coach direct sellers. So I lean more now into helping direct sellers, network marketers, social sellers, whatever, build a brand, personal branding, creating a brand, and then creating something of their own. Because,
Mhm.
you and I both know, listeners know, like this industry is really uncertain right now. So many companies are closing or, changing their models or whatever,
Yeah.
changing their, compensation plans. And a lot of times direct sellers are kind of left in the lurch. Like,
Right.
what do I do
Yeah.
now? And so
What is
my
happening?
passion is helping direct sellers make sure they have a backup plan, like have something of
Mhm.
their own, whether that be their brand, whether it be like a simple digital product they're creating, but something to
Yeah.
create a little bit more security in their lives.
Ooh, I love this. And I have to say, like fangirling over here. I don't know if I ever told you this, that
No.
I heard you speak. Did you know that? I think
N-
I have like a throwback
What?
picture of us, and you were like the celebrity keynote. And we took pictures with like fun little signs, like we were in a photo booth. I'm gonna dig
Oh
it up,
my
and
gosh.
I might have to share that when this episode goes live. But when you mentioned
Yes.
tag team and you mentioned training on Facebook parties, like, I mean,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, how much has this industry
So
changed
much.
since then? And I love that, like, you've evolved your brand and
Yeah.
how you're serving others. So let's stay there for a minute, just on this
Okay.
idea of personal brand. Because back in the day, you would just like show up on Facebook and post pictures that your
Right.
company gave you, and people would buy things. And here we are today, fast forward to 2025, like, it's a little bit more complicated than that. There's a little bit more to it, but it's also such an exciting time, I feel like, where
Hmm.
you can really stand out and build that brand and show up and connect with people. And even if, you know, things go
Yeah.
down and your
It's
company
true.
really doesn't, you still have that brand to carry with you. So
No
I
matter
think
what.
that's one of the coolest things is like you can, and you've done it, I've done it,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
we've built personal brands,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But now
Yes.
direct sellers are also like, okay, how do I do more of this and how do I
Right.
show up? So tell me a little bit about that and just how you're seeing like the evolution of direct sales
Yeah.
and where we're headed when it comes to personal brand.
I love that question. And I apologize if my dog is barking.
I
Okay.
can't
That
even
has
hear
nothing to
it.
do with the question. Okay. Good. It's
No,
someone
you're
just
good.
walked by and they stopped in front of our house. And I'm like, can we not do that, guys?
Always
Okay. But
during a
that's okay.
podcast.
This is my life. All right. So, yeah, as far as building your brand, it is so different than when we
Yeah,
both first started. And I have to say, like, I used to think branding was just like colors and fonts. I didn't have an
right.
understanding of really what branding was. And I think years ago, it could be like that. Years ago,
Mhm.
we could share our company images and be just fine and be like, what? I just made $1,000. What? But it's
Yeah.
just not like that anymore. And that's just how the world has evolved, how social media has evolved. And I think
Mhm.
more than ever, people want to feel connected. They want to feel seen. They want to feel heard, understood, but they want to connect, right? And the way people connect with us, the way your ideal person connects with you is because you're being authentic. It's because you're being
Mhm.
real. It's because you're showing
Mhm.
up and telling us a little bit about yourself. And our brand is more than what you sell. You're not your company. I'm sure you've heard that before. You're not your company. You happen to
Mhm.
sell products from your company. You happen to be
Mhm.
building a team, but you're not your company. You're still you. And so there's more to you than that. Yes. And I had someone say to me one time, yeah, but I wouldn't be here on Facebook or on Instagram if it wasn't for my company. And I said, exactly. You wouldn't. That's what got you in. But guess what? Now you're here and now you need
Yeah.
to take it up a step. You need to take it up a notch. And so when you think about your personal brand, it's about who are you? What are you passionate about? Like what are you obsessed with? Who
Yeah.
are you? Give us that. Let's talk about that. Show us more of that. Show your stuff too. But
Mhm.
let's lean more into like who are you? Let's be authentic. Let's not try to be someone we're not. Be you because honestly, that's who people want to know.
Yeah. Well, and I love you say that. And I think so often we're like, oh, but people might think I'm
I know.
weird. Or
I know.
like people might really know that I'm kind
Yeah.
of a hot mess. Or
Yeah.
people might see that, like, I mean, who is she to be the one doing this or doing
Right.
that? So, what would you say to those people that are kind of like, I'd rather just
Yeah.
put my product out
I'd like
there
to
and
hide
hide
behind that.
behind
Yeah.
that instead of people having to like really get to know me? Like that feels
Yeah.
more scary than repping a brand.
Right. And it is scary. And I
Yeah.
think it's good if you feel scared because it just shows you you're getting uncomfortable and you need to get uncomfortable in order for you
Mm.
to grow in life, right? And I don't
Hmm.
think I think everyone should be trying, should be growing, right? At
Yeah.
in their life all the time. And so I always teach this and I always try to hold myself accountable for this too, is to get uncomfortable.
Hmm.
What is it that's making you scared? What are you trying to hide behind? What are you trying to avoid? What are you coming up with excuses to
Yeah.
not do? Like, is it to go live? Because guess what? You need to go live. And here's the thing. Everything is figure outable.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to like ruin, your brand. Like go live,
Yeah.
do it messy, do it so messy.
Yeah.
If you were to go back, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Becky, like if we were to go
Hmm.
back and listen to our first podcast episode or our first live, oh my gosh, it was such a hot mess. Like the Periscope
Totally.
days. I don't know if anyone's been around since then, but like when live video was the first thing, I had no idea what I was doing. And it was
Right.
just a mess, but I
Hmm.
did it, right? And it's like
Hmm.
you just have to do the thing because the only way if you truly want to make more money in your life and you truly want to be, not as dependent on your direct sales company, or maybe you're just frustrated and you're not getting the sales, or you're not building the
Yeah.
team that you want, we got to see you. We've got to connect with you
Hmm.
because there are people out there who need you. Truly,
I love that. I love
truly,
that. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I'm kind of like a little woo woo. I was laughing at my shirt because it
Me
actually says
too, girl. Me too.
woo hoo. But like,
Woohoo. Yes. Bring it.
I do think that, like, okay, if it is scaring you, if it is feeling like a little uncomfortable, that's probably your nudge
That's
to
the
put
nudge.
yourself out there, right?
Yes.
Okay, tell me this then. So when we're thinking about personal brand, and maybe people are listening right now and they're thinking like, okay, I kind of get this in theory. I need to show up more. I
Mhm.
need to like tell more stories. I need to do a little bit more of me, a little bit less of product. What do you see that looking like on a more tactical level? Like on an
Mhm.
everyday running your business, is
Yeah.
it showing up on social? Is it writing blog posts? Is it maybe saying like, okay, like I am going to go do a podcast or I'm going to go do some show up on YouTube or a different
Yeah.
platform? Where are you seeing people building their personal brand in the best way or on a day-to-day basis as they're trying to figure out like, well, where does this fit into everything else I
Right.
have going on in my business?
So we're not going to complicate this. We're not going to overcomplicate it. We're not going to overthink this. Here's what I want you to
Mhm.
start doing. I want you to just show up on stories, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, stories. Here's the beauty of stories. They disappear after 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that it doesn't have to be something crazy. And you might be scared, but it's going to be really simple. You can literally record yourself doing something, but making lunches for your kids or
Yeah.
making your shake in the morning. You don't have to talk. You don't have to look at your camera. You can just start doing a little bit of what is makes you you. Okay. And then you can put some writing over it or whatever you want to say. But like that just gives us a little bit of insight into your life. Okay.
Mm,
You don't need to come up with like your pillars or whatever brand,
yeah.
whatever, like what you're going to talk about. Just start showing up as you. Like it doesn't have, you don't have
Hmm.
to sell anything. You
Yeah.
don't have to talk about anything. Like let's just start seeing little parts of you. Because what'll happen is the more you do this, the more comfortable you're going to become, number one. But
Hmm.
then you're going to find more things to talk about. You're going to
Hmm.
start getting questions like about you and about your kids. If you're showing your kids, don't feel like you have to. Whatever it is, maybe you're at a soccer game. It's the weekend and you're at a soccer game and you can record yourself watching the soccer game, or you can like show a little picture of you at the soccer, whatever it is. That's showing a little bit about you, right? That you
Hmm.
clearly spend your weekends at the soccer field watching your kids play soccer or whatever it is. That's going to start building you, right? We need to know more of you. It needs to make sense, right? Like we can't have like random pictures of your cat. I'm sorry. Or like random pictures of your, right? Like it needs to make sense, right? So
Yeah, there needs to be
that's
like a
why I
little
say,
story to go along with
right.
it,
So that's
not
why I
just,
say
yeah,
like when it's behind the scenes, kind of like that, it's an
yeah,
easier way to get in, but it also, you are sort of telling a story, even if it's just you making your shake in the morning, right?
right.
So I think that's a really good way to start and just challenge yourself to do one a day, one a day.
Hmm.
With the
Hmm.
purpose is just for you to get comfortable doing something like that. There's a whole
Yeah.
process, right? There's a whole process
Yeah.
to building your brand, but that's how we start. We
I
start
love that.
messy and
Yeah.
we start small.
And just keeping it simple, like you said, you
Yeah.
don't have to overcomplicate it. You
Nope.
don't need like a 45-page brand strategy
No,
document with your brand pillars and really
no.
identifying the core topics. Like just
Right.
start showing up a little
Right.
bit more as yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, I love that. Okay, so switching gears a tiny bit here, both of us, we started out in the sales field and then
Mhm.
we stepped into doing some training and we've built these personal brands. And I've said this before. I know my husband was on the podcast the other day and he said something and he was like, "Oh, should we delete that?" But I mean, really, direct sales was a great training ground to
Mhm.
step into running your own business. In some ways, it's similar, in some ways, it's different, but it gives you that confidence without having to worry about all the things to do your own biz. So I'd love to hear, just kind of from your perspective, what some of those similarities might be, what some of those differences might be, if somebody might have this little inkling of an idea in the back of their head, like, maybe I could have my own business, not just sell products from my direct sales company.
Right. Well, if you think that and you have that inkling, that's a sign that yes, you
Yeah.
can. Because if I can do it, you can do it. I
Yeah.
was a teacher. I had no idea what I was doing, and it literally just sort of happened. So I really do think that's kind of because I like the woo stuff too. And I really
Yeah.
think that also is a nudge if you're ever thinking that, even if you haven't thought that. I just really
Hmm.
want to encourage you. It is possible, and you do have something within you. You do have something that people want. Gosh, it's so similar, like building your business is so similar, like your own business is so similar to the direct sales world, I think, because we're showing up every day. We still have to create a brand. I still have to show up. I still have to serve and all the things. And I love to do that. And that was very similar with direct sales. I will tell you the thing that is so different is I remember when I quit my direct sales, working my direct sales business, because Man and I were with a tag team and it was just too much. Like I had to give it up.
Yeah.
And I do remember there was a freedom.
Right.
I loved my business and I loved doing it,
Hmm.
but there's something so amazing about you being in control. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
Hmm.
not being
Yeah.
reliant on another like someone else to decide what's going to happen. And I think, I did direct sales for like 10 years, and I think just like we grow out of our well, hopefully I don't grow out of my clothes anymore, but
Our
like
kids
as you're
grow out of
growing
their
up, as our
clothes.
kids grow out of their clothes, like they're growing, right? And that's what
Yeah.
we want to be doing. And so
Yeah.
sometimes we do grow out of our direct sales business, or we do grow out of whichever company we're with or whatever, and that's okay. And that's
Hmm.
awesome. And that's how it's supposed to be. So I think that's what's different, is just like that freedom and the security in that this is mine now. And I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about, I remember I got so much grief way back when I started doing Facebook parties, because our company was like, we are home party, we are home party, we don't do those things. And I remember like so many leaders would like just get so like they would question me. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm doing something. I'm selling more of this product. Why are you questioning me? I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
doing it with the right heart, all the things. Anyway, so that's different, right? Is having that
Yep.
freedom to just kind of do what you want to do. But I will say again, being in direct sales is such an incredible opportunity just to grow, like you just said,
Mhm.
in within ourselves. And then sometimes we do get that inkling, it's time to move on. And sometimes we don't, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I think for some people, maybe it kind of happens at the same time. Like I know I
Yeah.
was on a call with somebody the other day and she said, like I was kind of thinking, like, is there something I could offer? Is there something I could do in addition to like
Yes.
I've been with my company for 20 years. Like I'm not going anywhere.
Yep.
But like what else could I do? And I thought it was such a fun conversation to have just around brainstorming, like what complements with the
Yeah.
products that you're selling. Like there's a lot that you're probably doing in your direct sales business to show up and give value. But like, could you turn that into a digital
Yes.
download that somebody would pay for? Or could you offer having one-on-one consultations with people about, aging well with their skincare
Hmm.
regimen or different things that you could offer that maybe even you're doing for free right now, but you
Yes.
could monetize. And not only would it, I think in a perfect world, if you're staying in direct sales, you create something that supports the product that you're selling too. So both sides of your business are feeding into each other. That's pretty darn cool. And that's not to say you have to do it that way, but I definitely think that there's an opportunity there to think about what am I good at? What do I know? What knowledge do I have? Is there a way for me to take a portion of this, repackage it,
Yes. Yes.
monetize
Yes.
that, and have that also support my business without totally stepping away? Because I
Yes.
think that's the fear
That's
factor is like, do I need to go
100%.
quit tomorrow? Like, I don't think
No,
yeah, you can
no,
definitely build it at the same
don't.
time. Yeah.
100%. And that's what I teach my
Yeah.
students. I'm like, no, nobody's quitting here. I mean, if you want to, go for it, but nobody's quitting
Yeah.
here. Like, it took me a long time before I was ready to let it go. And the reason I let it go is because my other digital offer that I'd created had turned into something so much more that I couldn't keep up. So
Right.
no, I think that's the beauty of direct sales is that you can do it alongside something else, or you
Hmm.
can build like a digital offer, which is exactly what I'm teaching my students right now is to create something simple. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to start big. You just start small and
Right.
who knows where it'll lead. We just have to take that step, right? We just have to take that
Hmm.
next step.
Okay. So on that note,
What is
if
the next step?
somebody, yeah, yes, and
And
if they're thinking, I don't know if I'm ready for that next step,
yeah.
or if they're thinking, like, you're coaching so many people that are in this space during a time of transition. What are some of those mindset shifts or common fears or roadblocks or things that kind of hold people back? So maybe they're thinking, like, I
Oh,
kind of want to do this, but like, ugh, like, what are
yeah.
those things that you're seeing getting away for them from actually taking
Yes.
that next step?
Well, the overthinking is what's
Yeah.
probably getting in the way, right?
Yeah.
The overthinking, like, in fact, I'm doing a challenge right now, and one of the girls in there was like, okay, well, what if I don't like my digital product after I've created it? And what if people don't buy it? And what if I shift and move, like, decide to do something else? And there were all these what ifs. And I was like, okay, these are all valid questions. However,
Yeah.
yes, you're going to pivot. Yes, you're going to get tired of your digital product. Yeah, that's all going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay because that's how life is and that's how business is and that's all these things, right? So you just have to so that's the first thing I think is probably the overthinking. Let's just stop it. It's something I say all the time is just do it messy. Do it messy.
Hmm.
Now, if you're like, I don't know what to do messy, we can help you with that. But it's like
Yeah.
we gotta get over that overthinking. We overthink as a way to like protect ourselves from failing, right? Like, well, if I just think about it
Yeah.
enough, like I'm gonna make sure it's perfect. But we just have to do it messy. Because when we do it messy, it's like we're telling the universe, we're telling God, whatever, like we're ready. We're ready for the more in our lives. We're ready for more. We just have to do it messy. So I think the overthinking piece, and even if you're like, I don't know, like if this is even something that I want to do,
Right.
just listen to yourself. You're going to get
Hmm.
nudges if it's the right time. And it
Hmm.
doesn't, and this is another thing that I teach is it doesn't have to be hard. It can feel so overwhelming and scary and like this big, huge unknown. Like, whoa, there's no way I could do something, whatever that something is. But
Yeah.
really, it doesn't have to be complicated. And we can do, like, I sold a product for $19, y'all. And
Mhm.
we built that up. So just
Yeah.
know that it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It can be simple, and we don't have to add more hustle.
Yeah. Well, and I think back to some of the first things that we offered. We're not still offering those today,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. We're not
So,
either.
like,
Yeah.
do it messy. Yeah, we did it. We tried something. This worked. That didn't work. Okay, we're going to throw that out.
Yep.
Now we're going to try a different way. Like, we started with like a $300 course. Nobody wanted to buy my $300 course. I can tell you that. So it was,
Yeah.
okay, how do we back that out? Like,
Hmm.
what could it look different? Could we do this as a series of courses? Could you buy a bundle? Could you buy just a little teeny PDF download? Could you jump into a membership and unlock all of it? Like, we've tried things so many different ways, but I can tell you that some of the very beginning things that we did, they didn't work, but they got us to that next
Yes.
step and to the next
Yes.
step after that and the next step after that as we continue to iterate and I mean, also see how the industry shifts and how
Yeah.
buyers shift and what people are looking for. So, yeah, if you're thinking, I
And
don't know if this is something I want to be attached to for the rest of my life, you probably won't
right. Yeah,
be because you're going
that's
to change it
okay.
anyway.
And I don't know about you, but I didn't have a vision. The vision of where I am today is not where my vision was when we started selling that
Yeah.
$19 product. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
That wasn't it at all. So you just don't know. You just have to start.
Yeah, you just have to start. Okay, so if somebody wants to start and they're thinking,
Yes.
I want to kind of sidestep into something that's just my own outside of the direct sales world, what do you recommend as a starting point?
Well, the first thing is to follow me on Instagram. And
Go
here's
see
why.
Rachel.
Yeah,
And then you
at
will
Rachel
unlock
A.
all the
Perry.
secrets.
But the reason I say this is because I'm constantly giving you ways to do
Yeah.
this and advice on how to do it. But truly, I think the first step, and listen, you can use Chat GPT to help you with this.
Hmm.
I mean, you have prompts for this, but ask Chat GPT to help you figure out your superpowers, your unique strengths, and where you shine. And you can even say, I'm thinking about creating a digital product. What might that look like? And just start brainstorming with Chat GPT just to get some ideas. Now, I will say, I think sometimes a lot of the women that I work with have a hard time seeing their value and see where their strengths are. And I think it's because we're in it so much. Sometimes it's hard to see ourselves as the
Hmm.
amazing humans that we are, right? Because we're
Yeah.
in it. So, Chat GPT is really like, I would encourage you to ask those questions and lean into that. Just start getting some ideas, start thinking about it, because that is the first step. What are you passionate about? What
Hmm.
excites you? What experiences do you have that you could help someone else navigate? You're always a step ahead. And how can you help the people that are a step behind?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. And definitely leveraging our best friend, ChatGPT, for some
Yes,
ideas is such, I mean, I do it pretty much every
I
day in
do
my
it
business where I'm like,
every
I
day.
kind of I'm going
Yeah,
to do a podcast interview with
yeah,
Rachel Perry. This
yes,
is what she likes to talk about. Help
yeah,
me with some really good questions to
yeah,
ask her. Like, it is totally okay to use that as a
yes.
shortcut. And I do love what you said around you don't always see it yourself, but those
Hmm.
people around you would be great people to talk to too. Like be brave and say, "Hey, I'm thinking
Yeah,
about selling something on my own or offering some kind of service. Like where do I shine?" And
yeah,
getting that input from people that are close to you, I think can be really eye-opening because sometimes you don't realize like, "Oh, you're right." Like I have mastered my morning of having two toddlers running
yeah,
around and juggling a full-time job. Or, oh, you're
yeah.
right. Like I've been homeschooling for 5 years. I have something to offer here. Or sometimes we just don't see all of those unique qualities that we have
Because,
around
right,
how we
because we
shine.
are
Because we just do
hardcore
it.
in it. Yeah.
We just do
We
it.
just do it.
We
We
get
just
it
show up.
done.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love this so much. Okay, Rachel. So, just for fun, what's your favorite office supply?
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. It's hard to pick just one, but I do love pens.
I love
I
pens
love pretty
too.
pens. I love pens that are colorful. And I
Hmm.
love pens, the erasable, colorful pens that you
The
can like
friction
then,
pens.
I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I,
They're my
I don't
favorite.
need any more, but I buy them every time I go to Target. Different
This is
kinds.
why we're besties.
It's
All
true.
right. And tell
It's a
us
problem.
where we can find you, where we can learn from you, where we can get all the ideas and come check out everything that you have to offer.
Okay, well, definitely, like I said before, Rachel A. Perry on I was like, it'd be like .com. No, I mean, that is
.com.
my website, but no, on Facebook, I mean, on Instagram, come and hang out with me, Rachel A. Perry.
And Rachel, you have a freebie for our listeners, don't you?
I
Tell us what you
do.
have in store for us.
Okay, so we were talking about, building your personal brand being so important. I have a personal brand starter kit for you. So if you just go to
Ooh.
rachelaperry.com/starter kit, you can grab that for free and it'll take you through the process of where to start.
Oh, I love a starter kit. I love a good
All
starter kit.
right.
Tell me where to
Who
start.
doesn't?
That's
I
exactly where we get
know.
stuck, is where to
Yes.
start. So
Yes.
love that you have that. We will definitely link to it in the show notes.
Awesome.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a friend. Thanks for popping on the
Yes.
podcast and sharing your expertise and knowledge and all of those things that I think so many right now are kind of like trying to figure out, like
Yeah.
what's next for me? How do I lean into this personal brand?
Yeah.
Do I stay in my lane and keep building my direct sales business? Do I think about doing something else on the sidelines
Right.
or completely leaving the industry? I think that so many people are listening right now, coming in, having very different experiences and in
Yeah.
different seasons. And I just think this episode came at the perfect time. So thank you
Well,
for
I
spending
appreciate
your
it.
morning with me. I so appreciate
Thank
you. All
you. Thank you
right.
so
Thanks,
much.
Rachel. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Since we've been talking about personal branding, I would be remiss if I did not mention something exciting that is happening in just over a week. If you are a social seller, a solopreneur, a small business owner, trying to run your business entirely on social media and really looking to build your brand online, we have an incredible solution for you. You may be one of those that already has a website, but cringe every time you see it, or know you need to update it, but aren't quite sure how, or don't want to pay a web designer a gazillion dollars to make that update. Or you might just be thinking that you're feeling nudged to do a little bit more. If that is you, you are personally invited to come join us for our live workshop, How to Build a Website That Works While You Sleep. It is going to be a great one. It is on April 30th, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. You can save your seat over at ohmyhi, ohmyhi.com/workshop. I can't wait to see you there. Bye, everyone. This episode is sponsored by CintShare. CintShare is the #1 social media scheduler for direct sellers and loved by creators in any industry. It's truly your one-stop shop for all things social. Join hundreds of thousands of social sellers and entrepreneurs who turn to CintShare for free social media training and resources. Get started today with your free 30-day trial at moderndirectseller.com/CintShare.